Thanks, Jeff. Really, it's more than just one person. We've had a tremendous amount of help from people from various organizations around the region, really talking about this. And we've been talking about creating this group for probably about 6 months or so, and trying to weigh the pros and the cons. What's the best way to do it here from Jacksonville? And really, I think we've leaned a lot on Joe and kind of his expertise, his kind of struggles maybe in the beginning on where we might go differently. But I think we've come to a good spot. And really, this conference and this meeting seems to be the right place to launch our new business group, kind of kick it off, and really go from there. When we sat down and were talking about it, one of the most important things we wanted to figure out was who is actually going to lead this effort. And you would think that would be a very difficult thing to do, because we've got a lot of great folks in the region who have all the capabilities in the world to lead this effort. But at the top of everyone's list kept coming up Moody Chisolm, CEO of St. Vincent's. He's very important in the business community. He gets the regionalism, and more importantly, he gets transportation. He gets why it's impactful for everyone, not just in transportation, but across industries. And he also understands that transportation literally ties us together as a region. And so we were thrilled when he said yes, and he would share this. I don't think he quite understood what he was getting himself into when he said yes, but now that we've got him, we're not letting him go. But before I bring him up, just a couple quick backgrounds on Mr. Chisolm. He's currently CEO and president of St. Vincent's Healthcare. Prior to joining St. Vincent's, he was with Universal Health Services for 24 years, advancing to vice president of the acute care division, with responsibility both as CEO and as a regional leader for multiple hospitals. He's been recognized with various leadership and charitable awards over his tenure with hospitals in Florida, Texas, South Carolina, and Louisiana. He holds degrees in hospital administration and economics from Appalachian State University and a master's degree in business administration from Nova Southeastern. So without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, Moody Chisolm.
Well, it's an incredible honor and a great opportunity for me to participate with all the members, and I hope all of you will be members of this alliance, to help educate the people in our regional communities and our politicians about the importance of transportation and logistics for all of our businesses and for everyone that lives in this area, from a quality of life standpoint, from a earning a living standpoint, and obviously from the standpoint of economic development for our region. I am thankful to Chris and to Mike Breen and certainly to Rob Palmer, who's helped me out and tried to give me some education, and Joe spent a lot of time with me last night, and so many people have been willing to approach me today already and share that they'd be happy to provide me further education, because I need quite a lot. I was happy to hear Matt say earlier that you don't have to be an expert to have an opinion and to actually help identify. We want to be intentional, purposeful, and focused. And you heard that earlier in the presentations, that if we can identify the right projects and help people understand why they'll make a positive difference in our community and in our region, we can make a real impact for generations to come with the ability to get around this area. I want to share a few things. You may wonder, why is a guy in healthcare interested in this? So let me just for a moment tell you, St. Vincent's Healthcare has 5,000 employees. We have currently St. Vincent's Riverside, which many of you know where it is. It's in the Riverside area on the river. Not the easiest thing to get to. And then we have St. Vincent's Southside, which, of course, I'll touch on that in a minute. St. Vincent's Southside is a 313-bed hospital. Riverside's 528-bed. We're building St. Vincent's Clay County right now, and I'll talk about that in just a minute. We have St. Catherine's La Brea Manor, which is a 240-bed skilled nursing facility right beside it. And then we have 42 physician practice locations around the community, nearly 1,000 employees, including about 160 physician providers in those practices. We have 32 ambulances running around this community. They back up Jacksonville Fire and Rescue and Clay Fire and Rescue and St. Johns County, and they provide emergency services We have a home health agency with people traveling all around, consolidated labs. We have a lot of people out on the roads in our region that people depend on in this community. So let's start with the ambulances. There is, I think it's obvious to you that congestion can cost lives when it comes to ambulance service. We have wonderful paramedics that are very competent, but it's just not the same as having the patient in front of a physician with all of the technology available in our emergency room. We're seeing between 80 and 100,000 patients a year in our emergency rooms, and many of them are arriving by ambulance. So that's the first point that's important to me from a transportation vantage point. Let me also talk about the 48-year retiree that I spoke to the other day who was retiring after 48 years, many of those years as a cardiac monitor tech. And she shared with me, Nat, you'll be happy to hear this, that for most of those years, she arrived at the hospital by bus. You know, that has been her source of transportation to the hospital. And it spoke to me about how critical it is, especially for those in lower income categories who are supporting a family on a low income and depend on their health care benefits as well at the hospital, how important it is that we provide transportation to them. Let me also say that a lot of what's considered non-compliance in healthcare is people that have transportation issues, people that don't show up for appointments at the lower end of the income scale. It's often because they don't know how to get there. It's not easy for them to get to the hospital or to their healthcare provider. I'll tell you that 95 and JTB construction they're doing is a blessing and a godsend for us at St. Vincent Southside. That will be an incredible economic boost to our St. Vincent Southside Hospital. It's right there at Belford Road and Butler. And then finally, I can't talk to you without talking about St. Vincent's Clay County. We are only about 5 months away from opening, 6 months away from opening our hospital there in Clay County. The back fence line of our hospital is where the outer beltway will run. There'll be an exit right beside our hospital. It really speaks to me about the incredible difference that access can make in your financial survival. Either whether you're successful or whether you're not successful has a lot to do with accessibility. And it's that way for every business in this community. If we can reduce congestion and improve the ability for people to access the businesses in our area, then we will have an incredible economic boon. And so I feel positive about being a part of this. I appreciate the opportunity that's been afforded me, and I hope that all of you will help me to convince those that are not in this room, the finance companies in our community, the bankers, the insurance companies, the other healthcare entities in our community, the consumer goods organizations, that this is important for their survival and their economic benefit as well, and for their quality of life for themselves and their associates. So thank you for that opportunity, and I look forward to seeing you all in our future Alliance meetings. Thank you.